The investment firm Cowen just announced results from its first ever research and development pentathlon. Okay, so the Wall Street firm evaluated multiple big drug makers on how they jumped 5 different hurdles related to their R&D programs. What do you make of Cohen's R&D games here, and which companies were the winners?
Yeah, so this only looked at large drug makers, and they looked at data from 2012 to 2021. And the companies were scored by their ability to get drugs through development efficiently. The 5 measurements were on basically on speed and effectiveness and different aspects of speed. Novo Nordisk took the gold, Merck took the bronze, and Roche took Merck took the silver, and Roche took the bronze. AbbVie and Eli Lilly rounded out the top 5, and then on the bottom 2 were Pfizer and Novartis, and there were quite a few in the middle. The problem with these comparisons, and Cohen fully acknowledges it, is they're just sort of subjective, right? So how much weight you give to each category obviously matters a lot. Cohen said that Novo Nordisk probably won due to sort of its focused pipeline, that larger pipelines seem to hurt companies, although Roche was an exception there. They have a pretty large pipeline and they were able to take silver, but a lot of the larger companies with larger pipelines seem to get hurt by their scoring process. And obviously that's not necessarily what you would like to see as an investor. You'd like to actually see a large pipeline. I mean, obviously the companies still have to be effective at developing the drugs in their pipeline, but obviously larger is typically better from an investor standpoint, all things else being equal. The other question is how do you measure the results? A lot of it was based on clinicaltrials.gov's data, but companies have some leeway in when they make changes to clinicaltrials.gov and when they put in their clinical trials into the system. And so I think that could actually be affecting the companies in ways that wouldn't not necessarily it doesn't necessarily cause it. It doesn't necessarily measure the actual effectiveness of the companies. Are just measuring when they are actually putting the data into the system, and so that they're not necessarily putting in the system thinking that Cowen's going to be measuring this, and so we should we should wait and not put it in until we're really ready. And so that would, if they put it in early and then Cowen is measuring that as a delay in the clinical trial start date, where another company might just put it in later because they don't really care and they're just putting it in right before they start the clinical trial. And so I think that confounds the results.